Indian High Commission in Ottawa. Whatever was happening behind these walls, someone was trying to find out. The allegation linking India to the assassination of Hardeep Singh Nijjar is based on the surveillance of Indian diplomats, as first reported by CBC.
It means that there's been, ongoing collection, we call it, against various targets, and probably pretty credible.
Delhi claims it has not received specific evidence. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau did not answer when asked what Canada handed over.
Canada has shared the credible allegations that I talked about on Monday with India. We did that many weeks ago.
Canada wasn't the only one watching. A member of the Five Eyes also provided intelligence on India. That's the alliance including the US, UK, Australia, and New Zealand.
It does suggest it's not just a Canadian perspective on it and Canada's due diligence in making sure they've got the intelligence right.
Delhi says the claim it had anything to do with Nijjar's murder is absurd and accused Canada of sheltering terrorists.
It's not a very surprising reaction by the Modi government, because Modi government has always used foreign policy issues for its domestic constituency.
And Western leaders are ready to embrace India as a counterweight to China. The Financial Times is reporting American President Joe Biden brought up Nijjar's murder with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the G20. But this political expert says Biden has been reluctant to publicly criticize Modi about a range of issues.
Whether it is in terms of democratic backsliding, whether it is in terms of treatment of religious minorities.
A murder of a Canadian, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's allegation that Indian agents may be to blame. India called it absurd, but it's still unsettling for the largest Sikh community outside India, about 772,000 strong in Canada.
I had members of a local Gurdwara reach out to me and say they were worried that they were on some list that could be targeted.
The largest population, 163,000, live in or near Brampton, next to Toronto.
Please stand to be counted.
City councillors voted unanimously to write a letter to the federal government, RCMP, CSIS, and local police, urging them to keep all Canadians safe in places of worship.
I've now been to India 21 times.
Mayor Patrick Brown has had a close relationship with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has shut down visa services in Canada amid the row. A spokesperson said Brown wasn't available for an interview and didn't provide comment. The second largest population is in Surrey, BC, outside Vancouver. It's where Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Sikh leader and Canadian citizen, was gunned down. Mayor Brenda Locke didn't respond to an interview request. On X, she posted she is confident law enforcement will ensure the integrity of Canadian democracy and the safety of our citizens. More than 40,000 Sikhs live in Calgary and Edmonton. Neither mayors were available for interviews. Amarjit Sohi, though, has said he was imprisoned in India, while Jyoti Gondek's parents are from the country. The spokesperson for a national Sikh group says statements are important, but direct connection even more so.
The first thing that they need to do is make sure that Sikhs in their cities are receiving the support, and those individuals who are being threatened are receiving the protection that they need.
Nathaniel Dove, Global News.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Days after a shocking accusation, the Prime Minister insisted he did it with good reason.
But I can assure you, the decision to share these allegations on the floor of the House of Commons Monday morning was not done lightly.
And now CBC News has learned from senior government sources that when he stood in the House, Trudeau had both human and signals intelligence that showed the involvement of Indian government officials in the murder of a Sikh leader in Surrey, BC back in June. Hardeep Singh Nijjar was a prominent member of a separatist movement labelled a terrorist by India. Some of the intelligence from intercepted signals includes communications from Indian diplomats present in Canada. But it wasn't all gathered by Canada's own spy agency. Some of it came from a Five Eyes ally, a group that also includes Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and the US. One of those allies has been more forward in its support for Canada than any other, the United States.
I have seen in the press some efforts to try to drive a wedge between the United States and Canada on this issue, and I firmly reject the idea that there is a wedge between the U.S. and Canada.
The U.S. is trying to draw India into a closer security relationship, but Sullivan said today that India has to be accountable.
We will stand up and defend our basic principles, and we will also consult closely with allies like Canada as they pursue their law enforcement and diplomatic process.
As that transpires, India is applying more pressure on Canada as it stops issuing visas for Canadians hoping to visit, accusing Trudeau's government of providing a safe haven for terrorists.
The reason is that we have seen Canadian diplomatic interference in our internal affairs.
Government sources say Canada is weighing a response to the visa suspension, but has made no decision yet.
Interestingly, Evan, it looks like India is making an effort to get the U.S. on its side, inviting Joe Biden to be the guest of honor at India's Republic Day.
Right, and Joe Biden has not yet accepted that invitation, but the Financial Times is reporting that Biden did raise the Nijjar murder with Modi directly when he met with him in New Delhi. And as for the communications from Canadian officials, we can report also that there were several efforts to talk to them before Prime Minister Trudeau traveled to India and met with Modi at the G20. Canada's National Security Advisor, Jody Thomas, went there for 4 days in August, and then again a couple of days before the G20, before that Modi-Trudeau meeting. And Canadian government sources are telling us that whatever the Indians are saying in public, in those private meetings, they have not denied these allegations.